This is WKYT This Morning.
Kentucky mornings start here. Thanks so much for starting your day with us. I'm Andrea Walker.
Yeah, I'm Bill Bryant. Top of the morning. It is your Friday. We're glad you're with us here on August 26th. And now at 6 a.m., hundreds will be gathering this weekend to honor the 10th anniversary of the tragic Comair Flight 5191, the crash that happened in Lexington.
Sentencing is expected in high-profile Lexington murder case today.
And the Late Late Show host, James Corden, puts on an unforgettable performance with an iconic pop star. So that and a lot more coming up. It's going to be a hot weekend around here as well. Andrea.
Hot and sticky and a chance of storms. Thank you so much. So good to see you.
Have you ever heard that before? I mean, have you heard that one time this summer?
No, I mean a time or two. Yeah.
Maybe 50, maybe 60
right.
times.
Right.
Yeah, so far, and again, it's going to continue out there. So the pattern and the focus of our forecast is simple. Humidity sticks around for you. Again, a few showers and thunderstorms will be thrown into the mix, but that's about it. Right now, we're at 72 degrees here in Lexington. Now check out the rest of the day. As we get into the afternoon and evening, that's when we could be talking about the threat of a shower or a thunderstorm. Not much relief from the heat. And for folks that are going to be heading out to some area football games this evening, it's week 2. Have fun with that. It's going to be humid. You don't need an umbrella at all because the chances of the rain are so small, but you'll certainly need something to stay cool out there. We'll break it down, track it hour by hour with some of our model data coming up in just a few minutes.
Don't you love how he doesn't sugarcoat it, does he?
Tell it like it is, and it's going to be hot the next little bit. More summertime. In the news this morning, police in Mississippi are investigating the brutal murders of 2 Catholic nuns.
One of them had ties to Kentucky. Now their deaths have rocked several communities. WKYT's Mike Byer is at the live desk with the breaking details. Mike?
These are the nuns who were murdered. Sister Paula Merrow is on the left and Sister Margaret Held is on the right. Police say they were stabbed to death in their home. The brutal crime happened in Durant, Mississippi, near Jackson. Investigators say the 2 sisters might have been murdered during a break-in. Sister Merrill was a member of the Sisters of Charity of Nazareth, which is based in Nelson County, Kentucky, but she was originally from Massachusetts, where her family is now in mourning.
It's sad that people come to this, whatever motivates them. I mean, you know, my aunt and Sister Margaret, they live their lives to try to make the world better for the people who have nothing.
Sister Merrill and Sister Held were working in one of the poorest counties in Mississippi. Coming up at 6:30, you'll hear from them about their work and from community members they served. Bill and Andrea, police say a car belonging to them was also stolen. It was later found abandoned less than a mile from their home. No arrests have been made. At the live desk, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Certainly a mystery at this point, and it's very sad. All right, the news rocked central Kentucky a decade ago, and tomorrow morning, victims of Comair Flight 5191 will once again be honored for the 10th anniversary of the crash.
WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain joins us live with more on tomorrow's memorial service. Good morning, Michelle.
300 family members and friends are expected to be out here tomorrow morning here at the Arboretum to honor those 49 lives lost on August 27th, 2006. Now, tomorrow morning's memorial will take place near the Flight 5191 sculpture of birds, the 49 birds representing each of the lives lost in that crash. Inside each bird is a permanently sealed container filled with mementos from loved ones. Each victim's name appears at the base of the memorial, and what we're being told is likely to be the final public memorial. Tomorrow morning's 10th anniversary memorial service will begin at 10 o'clock. The public is welcome to come here to the Arboretum to see the service, and if you do, you're asked to bring a lawn chair. Parking will be available in lots near Commonwealth Stadium, and LexTran will provide a free shuttle service to the Arboretum. Now, coming up at 6:30, we'll tell you more about officials who are coming to attend the memorial and who will be speaking. Live in Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
Michelle, thank you. Here's some background on the tragedy of Flight 5191. On a Sunday morning in 2006, it left Bluegrass Airport for Atlanta at 6:07 a.m. A year later, the National Transportation Safety Board ruled the crash was caused by pilot error. Then in 2009, Bluegrass Airport replaced the runway that was used. We will carry tomorrow's Flight 5191 memorial service live right here on WKYT. The service begins at 10 a.m. We will also stream it live on WKYT.com.
We hope you can join us for that coverage. Our time this morning is coming up on 6:05, and police are warning anyone who may be struggling with addiction about a bad batch of heroin that is circulating on the streets of central Kentucky. Yesterday morning, we first told you about a spike in overdoses in Montgomery County after Mount Sterling police reported 12 people overdosed on heroin in just 5 hours. Donald Hyatt tells WKYT News that his brother was among those 12. Hyatt says he had no clue his brother was addicted to heroin, but after he OD'd, he's now urging the community to do more in fighting this epidemic.
Say no to drugs. Say yes to help. Get rehab, get whatever, guys. It's not worth putting your family through burying you because you're addicted to drugs. Family will help you. The love support is there. There's organizations all over here that can help you.
First responders say the surge of overdoses is not just happening in central Kentucky, but several cases have been reported in the Cincinnati area as well. First responders there say they had nearly 80 overdoses in just 2 days this week. And Voices of Hope will be hosting an event promoting overdose prevention in Lexington tomorrow. That event will feature volunteers who will provide overdose response training, as well as some guest speakers discussing the growing issue of addiction. A memorial wall will also be on hand honoring the numerous loved ones lost to various kinds of addiction. Tomorrow's event is free. It is open to the public. It starts at 10 a.m. at Jacobson Park.
Sentencing is expected today for a Lexington man found guilty of manslaughter in the stabbing death of his boyfriend. Police originally charged Matthew Donahue with murder in the death of Todd Shoemaker. But last month, after several hours of deliberating, a jury found him guilty of manslaughter. They've recommended Donahue serve a 10-year sentence. Police are warning businesses to be on the lookout for a sweep of fake money currently circulating around Winchester. Investigators say hundreds of dollars worth of fake $20 bills have been discovered in the last few days. But unlike most, police say the counterfeit bills are passing the traditional ink test, making them hard to identify as fake. They say the only way to tell if they're real is the picture located on the lower right-hand corner of the bill. Real 20s have that picture there, but police say the counterfeit ones do not.
The search is continuing this morning for a Bath County man accused of killing his wife. Police say Christopher White shot his wife, Judith, Wednesday at her home near Owingsville. Police say Judith was a hard worker and helped anyone who needed it. And now they're trying to help out her son. Two Owingsville businesses, the Scissors Sisters Salon and Cherry's Pizza House, are teaming up to raise money to help pay for his education. Police say Christopher White was last seen driving a white 2015 Jeep Patriot with a Kentucky license plate.
A Southern Kentucky man is behind bars after police say he used a public library computer to look at child pornography. Somerset police say Ricky Gray was caught looking at child porn at the Pulaski County Public Library on Tuesday. They say Gray was on release from a halfway house, but was not allowed to use the internet. Police say he was already facing federal child porn charges. And over 200 jobs are coming to Woodford County. Lakeshore Learning Materials Incorporated, a developer and retailer of educational aid, plans to open a new distribution center in Midway. Officials plan to invest more than $47 million in the new facility at the Midway Station Industrial Complex. The company expects to be operational by November of 2017.
And we had the word earlier, 300 jobs coming to UPS in Louisville, so a big day of
Good
job
news
announcement.
all around
yeah,
in
500
Kentucky.
new jobs in the Commonwealth
wonderful.
as of yesterday.
All right, here's a good story for you now. Everybody looks forward to this segment. Britney Spears has had a lot of iconic moments in her career.
Well, Late Late Show host James Corden helped Britney recreate one of her most iconic videos. Just take a look at this.
Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time.
Yes, it's a wig. Corden donned pigtails and the schoolgirl uniform from Britney's Hit Me Baby One More Time video. The two had a pretty good time jamming to that big pop hit. They also talked about Britney, a mother of two, wanting to have more kids. You can watch the Late Late Show with James Corden weeknights. It's right here on WKYT.
It is always a good time. He is just, I don't think nothing could embarrass that man. You know what I mean?
They've made a big hit out of this carpool karaoke.
He's got a good voice.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
All right, off to a hot weekend forecast now, as we'll be checking in with Jim in our First Alert Weather Center.
Yeah, we'll be dealing with a lot of heat and humidity around here, guys. Showers, thunderstorms, at least an isolated shower or thunderstorm possibility out there today, but quiet for the most part. We are looking back toward downtown Lexington right now, and you can see it's a nice quiet morning so far. No, not a lot of traffic on the roads just yet. 72 degrees, humidity at 91%. That's fine. That's very normal this time of night to be seeing humidity levels that high, so not a big deal. We look around the Commonwealth, you're going to find some upper 60s and mainly low 70s. And by upper 60s, it looks like now just one location, and that would be in Frankfort. Everybody else, low 70s. That's where we start on this Friday morning. Heat index forecast hour by hour. You can see as we head through the rest of the afternoon and evening. Actually, this is the air temperatures. You can see we end up in the low 90s for highs today. We get into your Saturday, and again, we're into the low 90s. Throw in the humidity, and that's when it gets uncomfortable. That's when we start talking about heat index values closer to 100, and that likely happens today in some spots. Defender radar network, a quiet morning no matter where you look across Kentucky. Just a little bit of cloud cover, which has nothing to do with the radar. That's more of the satellite, but that's it. That's the only kind of moisture other than the humidity that we have showing up, those clouds. Frontal boundaries in position and parked just to our north, almost stationary, but it's about to move, and it's going to be moving in the wrong direction, unfortunately, to clean up our atmosphere. It's going to go back toward the north in the form of a warm front, and when that happens, that just opens up more humidity for us into the weekend. So you see it starts riding back. Scattered showers and thunderstorms possible today. We get into your Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Isolated chances of showers and storms show up again. Let's advance into your Sunday, and you can see even by where we stop here will be the noon hour. You can see there's a little more organization showing up with these thunderstorms, meaning that we could run into a better chance of activity trying to sweep all the way through Kentucky. So Sunday looks to be probably our better chance of rain here. Here comes our 7-day forecast. We'll roll that out for you. Toward the end of the week, next week and next weekend, we're going to be watching the potential maybe tropical impacts all the way up here into Kentucky. But in the meantime, leading up to that, how about 90 degrees for everybody? Well, you have a chance today, tomorrow, Sunday,
You get a 90,
Monday.
you get a 90, you get a 90.
Everybody's going to be in on it, I'm telling you. And you throw in, the problem is the humidity's going to be so high that it'll feel like 100
Exactly.
on most days. So enjoy.
Okay, we will. Make the best of it,
There
right?
you go.
Yeah.
6:12 our time this morning.
Each morning we bring you weather and traffic together.
And here's Officer Don with a look at what's happening on the roads on your Friday. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Just had a look downtown. North Broadway and 3rd Street. There's a stalled car. It's blocking one lane of outbound North Broadway. And there's a car on the exit ramp from the inner loop of the circle to Nicholasville Road. It's over to the right. Looks like they're changing a tire there, but no wrecks. That's the great news. As you get a look outside at overall traffic picture this morning, we're in good shape. Still dealing with that blockage on Nicholasville Road, by the way, near Man o' War. There's a live look at Richmond and Man o' War, courtesy of the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government. And so far, we're great through that intersection. Drive times holding their own. We'll keep an eye on Nicholasville Road coming in from Jessamine County this morning for you. Also, it looks like Harrodsburg Road, so far so good between Man o' War and the Circle. Now back to you in the studio.
Yeah, but it is getting busy out there. You can see folks on the road. They want to get in there and get it done on Friday, right?
Oh, don't we all?
Get to that weekend.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, it's great to have you with us on this Friday morning, up and at it, and much more WKYT news on the way.
Still to come, the Rio Olympics may be over, but the controversy surrounding Ryan Lochte continues as the U.S. swimmer now faces charges in Brazil. The time now is 6:17 on your Friday morning. This morning, rescue operations continue in central Italy, but the effort is being complicated by hundreds of powerful aftershocks, making the affected areas even more unstable.
And people are afraid, you know, it's going to happen again every so many hours. The U.S. Geological Survey says another quake struck near hard-hit Amatrice just as the sun was coming up today. Jonathan Vigliotti has the latest.
Rescue teams in central Italy pressed on for a third day, still trying to find people trapped underneath the rubble. Drone footage taken above the hard-hit town of Amatrice shows the extent of the destruction. Homes without roofs, others barely left standing. This woman was moved to tears as she waited for news of her missing parents. After hours of searching, rescue teams finally pulled their bodies from the rubble of their home. Francesco was left in complete shock after seeing the damage to his house yesterday. Having already lost many friends, he now has no home to return to.
There isn't a house. I don't have a house here.
Hundreds of powerful aftershocks have left towns here even more unstable, and that's created chaos for rescuers trying to get to the scene. Yesterday, a strong 4.3 tremor in Amatrice stirred up dust and fear. Speaking in Rome, Italy's prime minister brushed off criticism the country could have done more to make buildings in the region quake-proof. Instead, he announced a multi-million-dollar effort to rebuild. Nations around the world are now standing in solidarity with the people of Italy, lighting up landmarks like the statue of Christ the Redeemer in Rio and the spire of One World Trade in the color of Italy's flag. Jonathan Migliotti, CBS News, Amatrice, Italy.
And Italy's government has also canceled taxes for residents who've been affected by the quake.
A Tennessee police officer has been killed in the line of duty. Investigators say the officer worked for the Maryville Police Department just south of Knoxville. They say he was responding to a domestic violence call when the suspect exited the home and shot him. The suspect was later taken into custody. Police say the injured officer later died at the hospital. The officers' names have not been released. American swimmer Ryan Lochte now faces charges in Brazil after filing a false police report. Lochte claimed he and 3 other American swimmers were robbed at gunpoint by men posing as police, but Brazilian authorities say security video suggested the 4 got into an altercation with security guards after vandalizing a gas station restroom. Lochte later admitted he was drunk and exaggerated the story. Under Brazilian law, falsely filing a crime report can carry up to 18 months in prison. Lochte has not commented on the charges.
We've just hit 6:20 on WKYT this morning, and we could learn today if the Federal Reserve is likely to raise interest rates next month. Fed Chair Janet Yellen will address the annual meeting of the central bankers in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Some economists are saying conditions are ripe for a rate hike, and Fed leaders have used Jackson Hole in the past to announce major policy shifts. Also this morning, Volkswagen has agreed to compensate 652 U.S. dealers for cars on their lots that turned out to be rigged to cheat the emissions testing. Volkswagen says the $1.2 billion payout will cover all past, current, and future claims of loss by franchisors. The German automaker has been hit with several lawsuits and legal probes since it revealed that millions of diesel Volkswagen cars worldwide had been fixed to beat the emissions tests. Amazon is getting into the car business. The online retailer unveiling a new search engine on its website that allows customers to comparison shop for vehicles, parts, and the accessories as well. You can also buy parts and accessories on Amazon, but the company is not selling cars. At least not yet. So we'll see where this all goes.
Only a matter of time till they start selling everything on there.
Looks like
Isn't
it,
that right?
yeah.
All right, WKYT this morning is just getting started. Thanks for beginning your Friday with us here at WKYT. Still to come, 7 hours of work and over 3,000 dominoes. America's tallest domino structure was quite a sight, but it was no match for gravity. A closer look when we return.
And we are going to be tracking a lot of heat and humidity around here today and through pretty much the rest of the 7-day forecast. I'll break it all down next for you.
Hey, good morning. We're glad you're with us here on WKYT this morning. We're coming up on 6:25. It's your Friday.
That's right. And in the news, a death investigation is underway in Mississippi after 2 Catholic nuns, one of which has connections to Kentucky, were both found dead.
And that's what's trending at this hour at WKYT News. Sister Paula Merrill and Sister Margaret Held were found dead in their home yesterday. Sister Merrill was a member of the faith organization in Nelson County, Kentucky. So far, no arrests have been made. Off to the weekend, which is going to be a hot one. Here's meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Yeah, same old song and dance that we have seen so many times play out this summer, heat and humidity, and that's exactly where we're going again. Today, heat index values close to 100, maybe right at it or beyond in some spots. But as far as showers and thunderstorms that you would track on the Defender Radar Network, not much. Isolated chance out there later today. Humidity, that's going to be the kind of the showstopper, though, over the next few days. Today, Saturday, and into Sunday. Notice that we're going to keep the tropical levels of moisture around in the air, which is not what you want. Sounds really nice. Tropical air, you think about the beach, but it's the beach. And just think about how sticky it is around there. Daytime highs, low 90s as we head through the rest of the weekend with the chance of showers and thunderstorms thrown into the mix as well, guys.
Okay, there it is. A lot
I
of
know.
heat, humidity,
A
and
lot of the same.
combination.
We're
Yeah.
used to it by now.
We are. It's late summer though now. Well, everyone knows that saying what goes up must come down. That's what some ambitious domino artists learned the hard way.
The hard way. After constructing America's largest domino tower, the group was just a mere 10 levels away from becoming the second tallest in the world. There it is, when the whole thing came tumbling down. It is a bummer, but since the whole point of dominoes is to watch them fall, the group deserves a job well done.
They do.
Don't you hate it, though?
Well, yeah,
Put
but
so much work into it.
But you know, it's bound to happen. It's going to happen.
That's right. Now, you don't want to be the one that did it, though.
Right.
Like if you're a team and then that one person.
Exactly. Still fun
Bad
to watch,
news.
though. All right, 6:27 right now on WKYT in your Friday morning.
When we return, we have a traffic alert regarding a busy Lexington street, how it could impact your morning commute, coming up at 6:30.
Yeah, maybe all day long. We'll check that out. All of our top stories are on the way. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot, $76 million. Tomorrow's Powerball jackpot, $142 million. Keep it here on WKYT this morning.